The Eastern States Exposition, which is more commonly known as the Big E, is the largest fair in New England by far. Located in Springfield, Massachusetts, just a short drive from Six Flags New England, this 100-plus-year-old fall festival is wrapping up another year with record attendance. In this video, I'll provide an overview of the Big E and help you determine if it's worth visiting. Back in 1916, the Eastern States Agricultural and Industrial Exposition was held in Springfield on the banks of the Connecticut River. Originally, the fair included all 6 New England states, plus Delaware, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. But by the 1940s, the event was solely focused on the New England states. For the fair's 50th anniversary in 1966, it was marketed as the Big E, which has stuck ever since. Very few people refer to the fair by its full name now. The Big E typically runs from mid-September until early October. More specifically, it runs for 17 days starting from the second Friday after Labor Day. The event has been held annually, only skipped for the World Wars and the COVID-19 pandemic. It has since grown to the third largest fair in the United States by attendance, only behind the state fairs in Texas and Minnesota. It attracts roughly 1.5 million visitors annually, and it's on pace to set a new attendance record in 2022. What day you visit will have a big impact on your enjoyment. The event tends to get busier as it progresses. It also tends to be far busier on weekends, often exceeding 100,000 guests. Some Saturdays the past 2 years have approached 180,000 visitors per day. I like to visit on a weekday during the first week if possible. Attendance these days typically hovers around the 50,000 visitor mark, so the event is far less packed and comfortable to navigate. This also has the benefit of making it easier and cheaper to park. Additionally, the Midway rides offer a wristband on weekdays, whereas they only offer tickets on weekends, which is far pricier if you want to ride several attractions. 2 critical things to bring to the fair are sunscreen and money. The first is because there's very little shade unless you're constantly hopping into shops. I know it's the fall, but you can still get burnt. The second is because many vendors in almost all parking lots are cash only. There are ATMs scattered about the event, but you'll be paying a convenience fee. Now let's talk about the arrival experience. Traffic, especially on weekends, can be stifling. It has taken us an hour to go the 5 miles from Six Flags New England to the fair on a Saturday before. The traffic gets exponentially worse the closer you get to the gate. Therefore, my biggest tip is to not park in the official Big E lot. This is a massive field that costs $10 per car cash only. The extra time you'll spend walking will be saved as you'll avoid the line going in and the large backup leaving the lot at the end of the night. You can usually find an off-site lot for $5 to $10 that's no more than a 10 to 15 minute walk away. For admission, it is prudent to buy in advance online. You can skip the lengthy line at the gate. Plus, if you buy it during the summer, you can often get tickets half off. The gate price for a full day is $15 as of 2022, but $8 after 5 p.m. There are also passes for the entire fair for $50 that are great value for locals. These 2 admission options are why the attendance spikes after 5 p.m. because the locals come after work. Gates open daily at 8 a.m., but most attractions do not open until 10 a.m. Some attractions like the state houses and villages close at 9 p.m. Most shops close at 10 p.m. Then the Midway rides close at 10 p.m. on weekdays and 11 p.m. on weekends. How much time you'll need depends on your interests. If you're coming just for the carnival rides, 2 to 3 hours should be sufficient, even less if you only care about the coaster credits. If you care about all the shops and vendors, I recommend a full day at the fair. This place is huge. Let's talk about the ride Midway. It's provided by North American Midway. This is a large carnival supplier based out of Indiana, and the Big E is the only event they service in the Northeast area. A ride wristband costs $35 as of 2022, but you can save some money in advance if you buy online. Tickets, meanwhile, will cost you $1.50 each, and the big rides will cost 4 to 7 tickets each. Lines for most rides are manageable. Not offering the wristband on the busiest days helps with this. Most flat rides will be no more than a 1 to 2 cycle wait. Then the dark rides and coasters can get a 15 to 20 minute wait on busier days. The one line to watch out for is speed. This giant KMG booster only seats 8 riders per cycle, and it's the Midway's most popular ride. And that's even with it not being fully included on the wristband. It either costs 7 tickets or a wristband plus 2 tickets. If this ride has a full queue line, it can take roughly an hour. The line tends to get longer as the night progresses, and they will usually cut it off early. Ride this one early in the day if possible. If lines are an issue, the fair does offer a skip the line pass for an extra $15 that almost always gets you on the next cycle of a ride. I've been going to the Big E since 2015, and usually there are 4 coaster credits. The largest coaster is usually Super Cyclone, which is an inner park Galaxy Cyclone style coaster. This ride is fairly tame, but the first 2 drops can give a little airtime if you're in the back car. Then there are usually 2 kiddie coasters with a Wisdom Rides Orient Express in Kiddieland, and a Wacky Worm mixed in with the adult rides. Both will allow adults if you're seeking the credit. Then you also have Mousetrap. This is a debatable one. This is a gravity-driven dark ride that includes a drop. The sets on this one are laughably bad. The indoor section takes place mostly in darkness, but there is one jump scare towards the end. The highlight of the Midway is usually the flat rides. You can usually find some crazy pendulum rides here. The best the past 2 years has been Delusion. This is a rare technical park Pegasus and is an intense and disorienting experience. The ride is pure chaos, as it rapidly alternates between sustained hang time, sustained air time, and crushing positive G's as it flings you about. I especially love when you're whipped over the top and flung towards the ground. This ride will throw you about, but I appreciate the raw intensity. Then you have the aforementioned Speed. This KMG booster is a shorter cycle than some, but you can get some terrifying flips and nice airtime when you're flung over the top. Just beware this ride's line. There will also be a frisbee or 2. As of late, there has been a technical park one that inverts that offers crushing G's in the downswings, great hang time in the full revolutions, and nice airtime in the build-up swings. There also tends to be one that doesn't invert, which focuses exclusively on the airtime. Every few years you'll also find Mega Drop, which is a fantastic 13-story tall Fabry drop tower. This ride offers great views of the fairgrounds, and it also is a thrilling drop. It is almost as good as the Larson Towers with the strong stomach-dropping sensation and abundance of airtime. Starting this year, you'll also find a 150-foot or 46-meter tall observation wheel. This is a fancier wheel with climate-controlled cabins, but it is not included on any wristband. There also are a fair share of spinning rides, but none are real standouts in my opinion. For the kids, there's a Kiddieland section. This area is dense and packed with small roundabouts, some slides and climbs, and usually a coaster. Arguably the biggest attraction at the fair is the food. State fairs are notorious for crazy food options, and the Big E is no different. Every year there'll be a new lineup of weird fried foods and zany combinations. Mass Live offers an annual eater's guide that's a wonderful reference I highly recommend. You'll find all the usual items like pizza, fried dough, and ice cream. Then you'll have weird stuff like barbecue pork sundaes, a pickle stuffed in a corn dog, ice cream stuffed in a donut, and so much more. Just do your research what seems to be good in a given year. 2 of the more popular items year after year are the famous Big E cream puffs, as people buy these by the half dozen, and then the loaded Maine baked potatoes. This can get a long line, but people swear by them. My favorite item at the 2022 event was the chicken pot pie bread bowl at the Storrowtown soup stand. It was a great value and delicious. I was surprised how much chicken was given. Some of my other favorites include the giant buttery soft pretzels from Gertrude's, the waffle battered chicken tenders from the Deep South Company, and the local restaurants and the state houses. On that note, the state houses are a can't miss section. Each New England state has their own pavilion that's a replica of the State House. You'll find a nice mix of local food options and vendors. Another cool section is the Storrowtown Village. You'll have a series of old houses. Some include tours, and you'll also find some craft buildings with a similar feel to what you'll get at a place like Colonial Williamsburg. The fair is also packed to the brim with local shops and vendors. You'll find these lined down the Midway and in large warehouses, with the Better Living Center being the biggest of the bunch. Shopaholics could spend hours looking at all the handcrafted items or hobby-specific pieces. Then you have agricultural and animal exhibits. This honors the fair's roots. You can find a giant livestock farm at Farmerama and a smaller petting zoo aimed at kids. But my favorite animal attraction is the pig racing. It is undeniably corny, but I always get a chuckle out of it. You can also find a wide range of shows. There are multiple musical acts daily. Some are included with admission, including some that have made it big like the Baha Men American authors. Others in the Big E arena require an extra ticket. For example, the big act in 2022 is Leonard Skinner, which costs an extra $80 to $90. There's a daily parade running in front of the state houses with local and Mardi Gras floats. Kids will love trying to catch beads thrown to the audience. Then you also have some animal shows. These can be seen in the legendary Coliseum, which is the oldest building on the fair. So do I recommend the Big E? If you're in New England, I sure do. It is a large event that can cater to everyone's tastes quite literally. You have amazing food. Then the ride Midway is your usual vibe, but it's probably the best collection of carnival rides you'll find in the area between the quantity of coasters and the awesome flat ride quality. Coaster enthusiasts can easily pair this with Six Flags New England or Lake Compounce. But others may want a more laid-back day exploring all the shops, vendors, and shows. I think that's what makes up the largest majority of the Big E's audience, to be honest. I just recommend visiting on a weekday if possible so you can avoid the worst crowds and traffic. So those are my thoughts on the Big E. What are your thoughts on New England's largest fair? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.